Hello everyone. Today we want to talk about why clean air zone policy is effective, but emergency vehicles should be exempt. In 2024, the City of Bath in the UK announced that emergency vehicles such as police cars, ambulances, and fire engines would no longer be exempt from clean air zone charges. This decision immediately sparked widespread controversy. On one hand, CAZ policies have been effective in improving air quality by discouraging high-emission vehicles in city centers. But on the other hand, critics argue that applying these charges to emergency services could delay response times and created operational challenges for public sectors. This leads us to a key challenge. How do we balance environmental protection goals with the need to maintain efficient public services? While reducing pollution is essential, policies must also consider the social impact. Our argument is clear. Emergency vehicles should remain exempt from CAZ charges. This exemption is necessary to ensure that rescue services can respond quickly.
The second part is the policy background and feasible analysis. The first is the background. Since 2019, the UK has implemented Clean Air Zone policy, which requires high-emission vehicles to pay a daily fee when entering designated areas. The policy aims to reduce PM2.5 and nitrogen oxide emissions through economic measures. In 2021, the City of Bath will gradually advance the CAZ policy and implement a 4-year exemption policy for emergency vehicles. And in 2025, when the exemption period ends, CAZ is ready to charge emergency vehicles. The second part is the feasible analysis. The reason why the policy can effectively address negative externality are as follows. From a theoretical perspective, the pollution is a kind of negative externality. To correct externality, we need to internalize the externality. Governments can impose a peak-level tax, making the private cost equal to social costs. In the CAZ case, the government charged the high-emission vehicles to increase their private costs. From the practical perspective, similar to CAZ, there is an ultra-low emission zone in London. A research team from King's College London found that the ULEZ policy led to a 37% decrease in nitrogen oxide concentration in central London between 2019 and 2023, when surrounding areas seeing a 20% reduction as well. Using a quasi-experimental design, the study ruled out other confounding factors, confirming that the improvement in air quality was directly attributable to the CAZ policy. And what's the goal of the CAZ? Is to reduce air pollution, particularly the PM2.5 from vehicle emissions in urban areas, thereby improving public health. Whether the goal is achieved, a hybrid model developed by the University of Birmingham, combining satellites, remote sensing, and ground-based monitoring data, shows that after the implementation of the Clean Air Zone, peak PM2.5 concentrations decreased by 19%, and the duration of daily existence was reduced by 33%.
The next part we are going to talk about why emergency vehicles should be exempted from CAZ fees. Firstly, in fact, the acceptance of CAZ is already not high. If emergency vehicles are charged again, it may cause public outrage. According to a survey by Statista in July 2023, about 83% of people in the UK think the CAZ policy is unfair to low-income families, because high-income people can easily avoid the fees by getting new energy vehicles. Another survey by Bristol Lives shows that nearly 60% of people do not support Bristol's CAZ plan. Secondly, charging for emergency vehicles will reduce rescue efficiency and increase the cost of the public sector. Data from the London Fire Brigade shows that in 2022, there were more than 3,000 delays when fire engines responded to emergency calls. That's a 42 increase compared to 2020. Moreover, there is a cost burden on the public sector. Like more than half of the vehicles in Avon Fire Department do not meet CAZ standards. It will take 6 years to replace all of them with compliant vehicles. This extra cost will put a lot of pressures on the public sector and may reduce the budgets of other important departments. And there is also the issues of carbon emissions. A study in 2024 found that the heavy trucks in Southern California choose to take detours to avoid low-emission zones. This resulted in longer driving distance and higher emissions. So in some cases, these policies may not even help reduce carbon emissions. Finally, while it is important to address environmental issues, we should not let it get in the way of emergency service. Oxford law professor Clark also argues that charging emergency service go against the public interest first principle. Instead of shifting the cost to this service, governments should use dedicated funds to support vehicle upgrades.
The final part is policy optimization recommendations for the clean air zone. First, we recommend maintaining the overall CAZ framework. It's already proven effective. For example, the EPA reports a 17% drop in asthma cases and a 26% reduction in polluting vehicles within just 1 month. Cities like Birmingham and London show that CAZ works. Second, we suggest exempting emergency service vehicles like ambulances and fire trucks. These vehicles are essential to public safety and should not face financial barriers. Germany's low-emission zones already offer such exemptions. The cars with green stickers can pass through the low-emission zone. We can follow that model. Third, we recommend financial support for vehicle upgrades, especially for key sectors. These include subsidized low-interest loans and trade-in programs. London's ULEC offers a great example, where vehicle replacement support help ensure a smooth transition. Fourth, we propose a tiered charging system. It's unfair for low-income groups to bear the same burden as wealthy individuals. A study from statistics shows 83% of low-income residents feel they increase their commuting costs. Cities like Bristol already face financial support and exemptions for small businesses. We can learn from them. And in summary, our recommendations aim to balance environmental goals with social fairness. And that's our references. Thank you.